I have a tea blend kit from our-apothecary.com. I'm going to unload this and we're going to make our very own unique tea blend just for this video. And I'm going to give you some tips along the way so that you can do it yourself at home. We have all of our herbs in front of us right now. This is super exciting. I need a little bit of a bowl. Rowan, please hand me a bowl. The first step in making your very own tea blend is getting to know your herbs. So we're going to quickly smell each of these, and I'm just going to leave the tops open because I'm a freestylist. Oh, the fragrance in here is becoming enormous. It's the elephant in the room. I have a joke about elephants, but I can't tell it right now. But if you want to slide in my DMs, I'll tell you the joke about the elephant. I've opened all of the lids for our herbs now because I want to get to know these herbs before we start blending them. So one at a time, we're going to smell these very quickly and then we're going to get to blending. The anise hyssop. The mountain mint. You know, so mountain mint is not actually a real mint, but it can be used as a substitute for mint, especially on when it's dried out. It makes an excellent tea. It is a bit more bitter though than spearmints, especially if it's a long steep on that mountain mint. It gets very intense on the flavor. Not like unbearable or anything though, just intense. Smelling the mugwort now. The African blue basil. And finally the lemon balm. So I've gotten myself familiar again with these herbs that I have in front of me. And we're going to start adding them into this bowl, kind of breaking them up a little bit to get them to marry together. And then we're going to give it smells. The smell is going to give it a lot away. So we'll start with a bit of lemon balm. Give that a little bit of a crunch. Now, one that I see easily coming together is lemon balm, mugwort, and African blue basil. We'll crank that one out and then we'll make another one really quick. And we're going to stuff them into these little 1 cup brew canisters. What are we calling these things? We're going to stuff them into these once we're done so we can just make one little teacup at a time. Super cute and adorable. Just like you.
Tea steeper?
Yeah, we've got these tea steepers. There's two tea steepers that come with each tea blend box from our-apothecary.com. And you know, they're not super badass. They're, you know, just kind of the cheap ones. But you know, it's good to give to someone if you're not sure if they have anything, without making too much of an investment. So far we are lemon balm and mugwort in here. Sorry. Lemon balm, mugwort, and so far right now there's lemon balm, mugwort, and African blue basil in this blend. We're going to give it a smell. It's definitely high. It's definitely high on the African. We're adding more lemon balm because the lemon balm is a bit sweeter and it calms the flavor from the intensity of the camphor in the African blue basil. And remember, smell tells you a lot of what your end product is going to be. Alright, I think a bit more mugwort. That's going to give it some earthiness in the brew. Not entirely aromatic, but it gives a texture in the mouth. That's a bit more. Gives a texture in the mouth it's more full coating, and we're going to mix all this together. We've got our hot water. We're going to smash this into our little canister here, and we're going to brew this first blend up, and then we're going to make a second one. Stuff your canister. You don't want to stuff it too much, and then you just take the little silver tab on the back there and just bend it up a little bit so as you brew it, it does not come open. I've got my assistant. Thank you, Rowan, just handed me a fresh teacup. We're going to drop this first blend in and pour some hot water in there and see how that goes. Alright, so we got our first blend right there, ladies and gentlemen. Second cup, please. Thank you so much. For the second blend, I'm already having some ideas. I want to play with the bitterness on the mountain mint and the sweetness of the anise hyssop. So we're going to take some mountain mint, any stems in there, we're going to throw those out. Boom, the anise hyssop, slap some of that in there. We're going to blend this in. And if you're really curious, you can even taste a little bit of the dried herbs. So you go in with your smell, you say, pretty good. It doesn't satisfy my curiosity all the way yet. So I want to get in there and throw some of these dried herbs in your mouth. You can do that too. Very interesting. I think we're going to tie in a little bit of mugwort on that back end. I think it's going to be perfect. We have our second tea steeper here that came in the tea blend apothecary box. We're going to put our herbs in there. You know, truly the only downside to these is that it's got pretty large holes that some of the herbs make it out of in your brewed cup of tea, but it's fine, I don't mind. They're pretty small pieces. Alright, we're in there, we're bending that up. Second teacup. Swagtown, USA. And, you know, I steep mine for a while, you know, minimum 8 minutes all the way up to 10 or 12 minutes to get those really hardcore flavors. And so we're just going to wait a little bit, and then we will try these freshly brewed, freshly created tea blends. I grew all of these herbs myself. I dried them out, and I processed them and put them in these jars and made them available nationwide through our-apothecary.com. I highly suggest you try this. You saw we hardly made a dent in any of these, and they're, you know, you could use these in your cooking and things like that as well. Once you get your hands on these and you experience the difference in flavors and shelf life, I think that you're going to never want to go back to the big man grocery store dried herbs. Now, if you're uncomfortable with any of the dried herbs kind of leaching out into your brewed cup of tea or leaking out of the little holes in the tea steeper, you can buy tea bags incredibly cheap on Amazon, and you can stuff those yourself with your homemade house tea blend for your house. Pretty incredible to think about if you have your own tea blend for your house. But also if you're making larger batches, French press does a really nice job. And you don't get any kind of residues on that. Just waiting on these to finish brewing so we can give them a shot. I love to talk about patience. It's something I have to remind myself of often to have. What shall we name these? Just as a recap, the first tea that we made featured African blue basil, which is heavy in camphor and menthol. It featured lemon balm, which has limonene in it, which is the, you know, the flavor of lemon, which is often found in things like oranges and lemons and pine sol, for instance. And then it had a bit of mugwort, which provided a little bit of earthy backbone for our tea blend. Boom, first tea blend right there for this one. Now we're talking about the second tea blend. This guy right here, the Winston Churchill cup. We used mugwort, mountain mint, and anise hyssop. Okay, so we left out those two. We kept the mugwort as our backbone. As a perfumer, you got to think about the earthy notes. All right, so boom, mugwort. Next comes in the mountain mint, which, as we said, is not actually a true mint as a spearmint, but it's a native mint to the eastern side of the United States, and it has more of a bitterness to it. So we're using these two kind of in conjunction to really ground us into an earthy flavor. And then a little splash of anise hyssop on top, which is also a native herb to the eastern United States. It's an agastache, and it provides the sweetness to this, some of the floralness, a floral, fragrant sweetness. One that I truly adore. Those are the three. I think that we're cooking with magic here, and anyone could take these herbs and blend them and make your own house tea blends for your home, for your church, for your restaurant. These are herbal teas, 100% safe, homegrown, hand processed, made with love. All right, so we were approaching about, probably 5 minutes on the steep time, so we're going to give a little taste test. It's smart to taste it along the way. I do the same thing when I'm cooking rice. A little blowy blow. Oh, I did it again. Wow. So African blue basil and lemon balm to me are always really good together. But you throw the mugwort in there and it just takes the mouthfeel to a next level and really gives it a backbone. It's like it gives it a history. It's almost like the lemon balm and African blue basil taste young, whereas the mugwort tastes like a century-old tree trunk. It's fantastic. I could definitely drink that at night. I don't know if you noticed on camera or not, I feel visibly more calm. It's truly a fantastic. Let's give it a smell. And what's nice about drinking the teas that have some of the summertime herbs in them is that it also brings you back to warmer times. So it helps keep the spirits high when a lot of the stuff around us is dead, or our favorite things are not growing. Fantastic. If you get the tea blend kit, that is definitely one that you could lock in immediately and just have some fun with it. We're going to give this other one a couple more minutes. It's got the mountain mint in there. It has the mountain mint in there, which the longer you steep her, the bitter it gets. But I'm really seeing
the bitter it gets.
The bitter it gets.
Bitter. That's pretty right.
Yeah, it just depends on if you like the bitterness or not. If it gets more bitter, as it get more better. It just depends on what you like. So let's give it a quick taste. Like I said, new girlfriends and new teas, you want to taste them both every now and then. A quick blowy blow. Tip of the brow, ladies and gentlemen. Holy Toledo. I saw the DNA helix just now. That's how intertwined this herb blend is together. The mugwort kind of takes the stage about like this. These two are definitely up front, just as in perfumery, you have your top notes and your base notes. These two, I feel like, are dancing on cloud 9, whereas mugwort sits over here and just kind of peers down at them. Let's give it one more shot. You're definitely getting a lot of anise hyssop on front, right? It's like a fruity runner running down your tongue. And then it's followed up by the numbness of the menthol and the mountain mint coating your gums. And then it's followed by the mouthfeel of the mugwort on the back of the throat. Ladies and gentlemen, both of these are fantastic teas. You can make these at home and enjoy them day in, day out. They are completely safe, Go ahead and do your research though on any of these herbs. Check their health benefits and what the people are saying online. Don't leave a comment below with some of your favorite tea blends that you make. I would love to try them out as well. And you can also add your own spices in here. You can add things like this bronze fennel seed into it and other hearty spices. You can do orange peels and chamomile, whatever you want to add to it. This is just a really nice base set for you to get started on your own tea blending journey. You guys have fun out there. Blend some teas. Let me know what you come up with.